Good morning students. Welcome to the YouTube channel of Little Flower School Rapti Nagar. I am Amit Kumar, your computer science teacher, and this is the second video lecture for class 11th A and 11th B. In our previous video lecture, we have actually discussed about the complete syllabus of class 11th session 2020-21, and we have seen various topics that we will study throughout our session. We have also discussed about few topics from the first chapter, numbers itself, and we have introduced you how we are going to form numbers in different number system. We have also discussed about base and radix of a specific number system. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about numbers and their interconversion, how we are going to convert a specific number in a specific number system to another number of a different number system. So before we proceed to that, let's see one more time how do we generate numbers in a specific number system and what are base and radix. Base or radix actually represents the number of digits available in a specific number system. Now we know whenever we form numbers, we need some digits. Like in mathematics, we take help of those 10 digits starting from 0 to 9, and we form different numbers in decimal number system. And that is in our mathematics. So how do we form numbers in a specific number system? The way to form numbers is noting down all the digits available in that number system, from smallest digit to the largest digit. For example, the decimal number system on which we work in mathematics actually have 10 as the base or radix. That means there are 10 digits starting from 0 till 9 which are used to form numbers in decimal number system, and they are starting from the smallest one is 0, and then it will move on till the largest. Once you note down all the digits from smallest till largest, once all the digits are over, then we actually increase the number of digits in the number. For example, right now there is only one digit, there is a single digit number. So now, since all the digits are written in single digit number, now we will form a 2-digit number. And how we do that? By taking one of the digit and repeating all with it. For example, if we take 0 and repeat all with it, so it will become 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2. And if you know, value of 1 and value of 0, 1 is same. So hence we are actually repeating the numbers. So we cannot repeat all the digits with 0. So 0 we cannot use. So the next digit is 1, and now we are going to repeat all the digits starting from 0 till 9, and we will repeat all the digits along with 1. So it will be 1 0 1 1, and it will go on up to 1 9. As we have repeated all the digits with 1, now we will repeat all the digits with 2, and it will keep on moving like that. Hence we form numbers in our normal number system, that is decimal number system, which we use in mathematics. In computers, we use different other number systems as well. Let me tell you an example. For example, computer deals with binary numbers whenever computer is doing any internal operation. That means any data, any instruction or any information is actually represented in form of binary whenever we are dealing with computers. Similarly, there are some places in computer where we represent hexadecimal numbers. So if you have worked with MS Paint or if you have worked with HTML, we use hexadecimal numbers over there to represent a specific value of a color. You know that all the colors are represented in red, green and blue values, right? So we actually represent the value of red, green and blue in hexadecimal numbers whenever we are working in HTML and we are working with MS Paint. Well, there are other options also, but hexadecimal numbers are also used. And similarly, there are some places where octal number systems are used. So there are different number systems available in mathematics, available in computer, and we are going to use these number systems in our calculation, in our operation. So you should know these number systems. The next number system on which actually the computer works is your binary number system. In binary number system, the base of this number system is 2. That means there are only 2 digits which we will use, and these digits are 0 and 1. See, all the numbers in binary number system are formed with 2 digits, 0 and 1. So hence we will repeat from the smallest digit till the largest digit. And since all the digits are repeated, now we will move on to 2-digit number. So we cannot repeat 1 with 0 because it will become 0 1, right? And we have already written 0 1. 1 is nothing but 0 1. So we will not repeat with 0, we will repeat with 1. So first time it will become 1 0 and next time it will become 1 1. Now how you will come to know that you reached the maximum number in specific digit number? For example, how you will come to know that you have reached the maximum 2-digit number, or you have reached the maximum 3-digit number? So it's very easy to know. Suppose you are working in decimal and you reached 9. That means you have reached the maximum single digit number. If you reach the number 99, that means you have reached the maximum 2-digit number. And similarly, if you reach 9999, you have reached the maximum 4-digit number. So as many digits will be there, and I am talking about the largest digit of that number system. So as many times the largest digit will be there in a specific number system, that will be the largest number in that many digits. For example, if 9 will be there 2 times, that will be the largest 2-digit number. If 9 will be there for 6 times, that will be largest 6-digit number. Similarly, in binary, the largest single digit number is 1, the largest 2-digit number is 1 1, the largest 3-digit number is 1 1 1, the largest 4-digit number is 4 times 1. Okay, so this was about decimal and binary. We will see about octal and hexadecimal also, but let's represent at least 11 values in binary. So 0, 1, 2, 3, now 4 is 100, 5 is 101, 6 is 110, 7 is 111, and you can see this is the largest 3-digit number in binary. 8 is 1000, 9 is 1001, 10 is 1010, and so on. So if you want to represent 5 in binary, you will represent it as 101, and I remind you, it's not 101, okay, it's 101. Now whenever you represent any number in a specific number system, you also represent the base or radix of the number in that specific system. For example, if I am representing 10 in decimal, I will write the number with the parenthesis and then I will write the base. So here the number is 10 and that is in the decimal number system, so base is 10. But in case if I want to represent this in binary, so I will write 10 and base will be 2. So it totally depends what base you have written, okay, that only decides which number you have written. So this was about decimal and binary and their equivalent numbers. Similarly, let's see about octal and hexadecimal and how numbers are formed there. So if I talk about octal number system and hexadecimal number system, so their base will be something else and number of digits will be something else. So let's note it down. So if I am talking about octal number system, so what will be the base of octal number system? 8 will be the base. What are the digits supported in it? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, up to 7. So smallest digit is 0 and largest digit is 7. So let's represent some numbers here. So 0, 1, 2, so up to 7, up to single digit number it will be up to 7. And then after we have to start 2-digit number. So it will become 10, 11, 12 up to 17, right? So let's represent few: 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and then after 20, 21 and like that. So what will be the largest 2-digit number in octal? Definitely 77. Now let's talk about hexadecimal number system. So if we talk about hexadecimal number system, there are 16 digits in hexadecimal number system, and because there are 16 digits, the base of it is 16. Now what are those 16 digits? So it starts from 0 up to 9. So first 10 digits are same as in decimal, and then after it supports A, B, C, D, E and F, where A represents 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. But we don't write 10, 11, 12, because if we will write 10, 11, 12, we are actually repeating 1, 0, right? Even in 11, 1, 1, in 12, 1, 2. So we are repeating the same digits. Hence, we don't want to do that. We want unique digits. So we have used alphabets in hexadecimal number system. Now what are the values represented over here? So 0, 1. So it will be like that up to 9, 7, 8 and 9. Up to 9 it will be the same. So if we represent corresponding octal numbers, so up to 7 octals and hexadecimals are representing same numbers. But in octal 1, 0 is actually represented as 8 in hexadecimal. In octal 1, 1 is actually represented as 9 in hexadecimal. And then after 1, 2 of octal is represented as A, B, C, D, E and F. You got that? So these are the corresponding values. So if we are representing 7 in octal, we will write it as 7 and the base as 8. And if we are representing 7 in hexadecimal, we will represent as 7 and the base as 16. So that's how any number is formed in any specific number system. In that way, you can create your own number system and you can form your own numbers, right? And the interesting thing over here is, in any number system, the number of digits is always finite and the number of numbers formed from those digits are always infinite. So we can form infinite number of numbers with the help of finite number of digits. Okay, so I hope you understood this. The next thing, we are going to understand the same thing again, but this time with a very simple mathematical operation. We are going to print next 5 numbers of a specific number. We are going to write next 5 numbers of a specific number. So let's see. Actually this is not related to your examination point of view. No one will ask you about the next 5 numbers, but we are actually dealing it so that we can have a practice how numbers are formed. So for example, let's see 5 to the base 8, that means 5 in octal. What will be the next 5 numbers in octal? Next 5. Of course, we are in octal, the next digit will be 6. After 6, the next digit will be 7, and you know this is the largest single digit number in octal. So after 7 in octal, it will be 1, 0, then 1, 1, and of course then 1, 2. And it's not 10, 11 and 12, because we are working in octal. It is 10, 11 and 12 in decimal number system only. Okay, so these are the next 5 numbers of 5 in octal number system. Let's see 19 to the base 16. It means 19 in hexadecimal. What will be the next 5? Okay, so after 9, we know in hexadecimal the next digit is A. So 1A. Okay, then 1B. Then 1C. Then 1D. And then 1E. So these are the next 5 digits of after 19 in hexadecimal number system. Let's talk about binary. Okay, and let's see if the number is 1, 1 in binary. What will be the next 5 numbers here? We know 1, 1 is the largest 2-digit number in binary. So the next 5 will be in 3 digits definitely, or maybe in 4 digits. Let's see. So the next digit after this will be 1, 0, 0. Then 1, 0, 1, then 1, 1, 0, then 1, 1, 1. And you know 1, 1, 1 is the largest 3-digit number. That means you have to go in 4 digit afterwards. So it's 1, 0, 0, 0. So these are the next 5 digits in binary. Okay, and now finally let's see next 5 digits in decimal. For example, if 15 is written in decimal, what will be the next 5? Okay, so after 15 we know 16 will be there, 17 will be there. So decimal is most easy because we have, most of the time we are working on decimals only in real life, in mathematics. So that's why it would be very easy. I know out of these number systems, out of these 4, the binary one would be the difficult one for you to deal. Okay, so don't you worry, I will tell you how to write binary numbers in consecutive manners, and I will tell you how you operate with these numbers, and I will tell you a shortcut to do that. So don't you worry, but you have to keep some patience till then. So what will be the next topic to discuss now? Okay, so of course we have seen the number chart, we have seen how numbers are generated, and we have also seen next 5 numbers in all the number system. Now the next thing is interconversion of numbers, converting a number in a specific number system to another number system. Okay, and this whole tutorial is about that only. This is very important for your examinations perspective as well, because at least 1 to 2 questions they are going to ask. They can ask a 5 marks question as well for conversion itself. So please focus on the conversion, the steps, the methodology that I am telling you, how you are going to convert a specific number system into another number system, because it's not only important for your examination, it's also important for the basic knowledge of numbers in computer. Okay, so let's proceed. Now first conversion is, first of all we will see decimal number, and we will see how to convert decimal into other number system. That means decimal to binary, decimal to octal, decimal to hexadecimal. So for that, let's see first of all decimal to binary conversion. Okay, now the first number that we are taking, let's take 19. Suppose we are having 19 in decimal, what will be its value in binary? So please see the steps very carefully. Whenever you want to convert decimal into any number system, you have to divide that decimal number with the base of the new number system. For example, I want to convert it into binary, so I will divide 19 by 2. If I want to convert it into octal, I will divide 19 by 8. And if I want to convert into hexadecimal, I will divide 19 by 16. And it's just like prime factorization with a little bit of difference. Difference is, you cannot divide with any other number other than the base. Second thing, whether the number is divisible or not, you have to divide it and you will note down the remainders. So let's see this. So if 19 is a number, we have to divide it by 2. And whenever I am dividing, I will note down the remainder in front of the number. For example, if 19 is divided by 2, 2 9s are 18 and we get remainder 1. So that remainder I am writing down here. Similarly, 2 4s are 8 and remainder I am writing down here. Then 2 2s are 4 and remainder I am writing down here. 2 1s are 2 and finally I got the remainder over here. So we will keep on dividing until unless we get 1 or we get a number smaller than the base. So base was 2, so 1 is definitely smaller than 2. So we will stop now, and now we will note down the remainders from the bottom till the top. So from the bottom, including this one, till the top. Okay, so the number will become 10011. So 10011 is the corresponding binary of 19. Okay, see, you need not to create that chart. All that you need to do if you want to convert a specific decimal number into binary is to divide it by 2, note down the remainders. Now then note down the remainders from bottom to top, and that will be your resultant binary number. Now let's see one more question in binary, but this time we are going to deal with fractional part as well. You know, this was containing only integer part. But suppose if your decimal number is having fractional part as well, how you are going to do that? So if you are thinking you will divide every time by 2, even the fractional part, so it's wrong. You are going to divide by 2 only to the integer part. So how you are going to deal with the fractional part? Let's see. For example, let's take an example 30.25. Okay, and let's convert 30.25 into binary. So 30.25. I told you that integer part will be operated like that only. For example, 30 will be converted. So how to convert 30? You will divide 30 by 2. 2 15s are 30, 0. 2 7s are 14, 1. 2 3s are 6, again 1. And 2 1s are 2, again 1. So the binary of 30 you will get is 1 1 1, 4 times 1, and then 0. This is the binary of 30. But now you have to convert 0.25 into binary as well. So how to do that? How to convert a fractional decimal part? So we'll note down the fractional decimal part, and instead of dividing now by 2, you will multiply by 2. So the integer part is divided by 2, the fractional part is multiplied by 2. And how the multiplication will be done? You will multiply and you will note down all the fractional parts this side of the result of the product, and integer part this side. So let's see, 5 2s are 10, 1 carry, 2 2s are 4, 1 5. So nothing in the integer part, so integer part will be 0. You will multiply by 2 again, and this time 2 zeros are 0, 2 5s are 10, and you see you get 1 in the integer part and nothing in the fractional part. Now this multiplication will continue until unless you get only 0 in the fractional part, or this fractional part is repeated. There can be a case that this will be repeated and it will never come to 0. You will see that question also. But if the fractional part becomes 0, you will stop multiplying by 2, and now you will note down the integer part from top to bottom. So this time not bottom to top, this time from top to bottom. So the binary of 0.25 in decimal is 01, and you will write with point, so 0.01. Okay, so the total value of 30.25 in binary is 11110.01. You got that? Integer part is operated separately, fractional part is operated separately. Integer part is divided by 2, fractional part is multiplied by 2, and in integer part you will note down the remainders from bottom to top. In the fractional part you will note down the integer part of it, integral part of it, from top to bottom. So this is how you are going to convert, and for your practice I am taking one more decimal number in fractional, and we are going to convert that also into binary. So the next fractional number or next integer along with fractional in decimal is 12.2. So now we are going to convert 12.2 in decimal to binary. So let's start with the fractional part. So fractional part is 0.2. So you are going to multiply it with 2. So it will become 0.4, and this will be the decimal part. Now again you will multiply it by 2. This will become 0.8, and again this is the integer part, 0 only. So again we will multiply 8 to the 16, so 0.6, and 1 will come here. Again you will multiply, okay, again you will multiply by 2, and this time it will become, okay, multiplied by 2. So this time it will become 12, that is here. And you can see 0.2 is repeated again. So if you will continue, this is going to repeat again and again. These types of fractional part are known as non-terminating repeating, and here it is binary. So non-terminating repeating binary. So now we need to convert 12. So 2 6 are 12, 0, 2 3s are 6, 0, 2 1s are 2, 1. So this will be noted down from bottom to top, and this will be noted down from top to bottom. So 12.2 in decimal will be represented as 1100.0011 in binary. Okay, so this is how you're going to convert a given decimal number into binary number. I hope you got it. I will give you some questions for practice on this, don't worry. So the next conversion that we are going to see is decimal to octal. Okay, so we will convert a decimal number into octal number. So let's see. Now the first number that we are taking for this conversion is 125. Okay, and we are going to convert 125 into octal. Now the process is same. We will note down the numbers, and this time we will divide with the base, and this time the base is 8. So you will simply divide it as 8 ones are 8, 4 will come here, 45, 8 5s are 40, so remainder will be 5, 8 2s are 16, so we will do 8 ones are 8, and hence you will get 7 over here, right? 8 plus 7 is 15. Now you got a number which is smaller than the base, so you will stop here, and now from bottom to top you will note it down. So 125 in decimal is represented as 175 in octal. Okay, so this is how you convert a given decimal number in octal, and the law is same which was applied for binary. The only difference is in binary you will divide it by 2, in octal you will divide it by 8. So you can keep it as a general rule that we are going to divide a given decimal number with the base of the destination number system, and we will note down the remainders. Now the next number that we are going to see is with, of course, a fractional part as well. So the number is 90.25. Okay, so let's see. Okay, the second number is 90.25 in decimal. What it will be in octal? Similarly, you will deal the fractional part by multiplying it by 8. So 8 5s are 40, 4, 8 2 are 16, 20. Okay, fine. 8 5 are 40, 0 4, 8 2 are 16, 4, 20. Okay, so fractional part becomes 0 0. You will stop over there, and you will note from the top. So only one integer part is there, 2. Now 90 will be converted. So how? By dividing it by 8. So 8 tens are 80. How much remainder you will get? 10. Okay. You should go for 8 11s, alright. 8 11s are 88. So it should be 2. Now 8 1s are 8. It should be 3. So 90.25 in decimal is actually represented as 132.2 in octal. You got that? So how you'll come to know? You will never get a remainder greater than the base. Like I have done mistake the previous one. 8 tens are 80 I was doing, but I was getting remainder over here 10. I will never get a remainder greater than 8 or even 8. So make sure if you are getting it, definitely it's wrong. You can check it out. Now this is how we convert a given decimal number into octal, whether it is having a fractional part or it is not having a fractional part. Now the last conversion from decimal to any other number system is from decimal to hexadecimal number system. So let's see that. Let's see how we are going to convert decimal to hexadecimal. Decimal to hexadecimal. So let's see, let's take a decimal number. Let's take 76, or let's do with a fractional part as well. So number I have taken is 100.25. Let it be 100.25. So we will do both fractional and integer here. So 0.25 will be first converted into hexadecimal by multiplying it with 16. Okay. So 25 4s are 100, 25 8s are 200, so 25 16s are 400. Okay, thank God, only one. Otherwise we have to keep on multiplying by 16. Now 100 is there, so let's see how to convert 100. 16 5s are 16 6s are, I think, yes, 16 6s are 6 are 36, 6 3, 6 are 96. So remainder will get 4. Okay, 16 6 are. So remainder will get 4, right? So let's note down. So this will be from bottom to top, this will be from top to bottom. So 100.25 in decimal will be represented as 64.4 in hexadecimal. Okay, so I hope you understood this. So this is how you are going to convert a decimal number system into binary, into octal, or into hexadecimal number system with fractional part and without fractional part. Now let's see the vice versa. Now let's see how to convert back to decimal, like a binary number back to decimal, an octal number back to decimal, and a hexadecimal number back to decimal. So let's see that. Let's start with binary. Now before I tell you, do you know how to represent any number in decimal, or what is the expanded form of any number? For example, a number is given 5, 6, 7, 8. So you generally write it as 5 into 1000 plus 6 into 100 plus 7 into 10, plus 8 into 1, right? Okay. So actually we can represent it as 5 into 10 to the power of 3 plus 6 into 10 to the power of 2 plus 7 into 10 to the power of 1 plus 8 into 10 to the power of 0. And let's note down the powers to that specific digit. For example, 5 is multiplied with 10 to the power of 3. So let's note down 3 over here. So here it will be 2, here it will be 1, here it will be 0. So these are the powers of the 10. Okay. Why I am telling you this? I know you all know that, but I am telling you this because this is the same principle that we are going to use to convert a specific number system back to decimal. For example, if we are converting a binary number to decimal, okay, so let's see how we are going to do that. Let's take the binary number as 101101. So the number is 101101. This is the binary number, and you have to convert it into decimal. Now I told you that there is a power to every position, right? So the same power we are going to provide here to every position of the digit in the binary. For example, the binary digit is 101101. So now we will provide power from the rightmost side starting from 0. So it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you will multiply the digit along with 2 to the power whatsoever you get with that digit. For example, this one was having 5, so 1 into 2 to the power of 5 plus 0 into 2 to the power of 4 plus 1 into 2 to the power of 3 plus 1 into 2 to the power of 2 plus 0 into 2 to the power of 1 plus 1 into 2 to the power of 0. So you note down all the digits multiplied by 2 to the power whatsoever we were getting there. And note down, you will start noting down these powers from the right hand side, okay, starting from 0. Now all that you need to do is to note down these values. So 1 multiplied with any number will be that number itself, and 0 multiplied by any number will be 0 itself, okay. So 2 to the power of 2 plus 0 plus 2 to the power of 0 is 1, okay. Now all that you need to do is to add them. Well, no need to worry about the zeros because 0 is additive identity. Need to add the rest of them. So 2 to the power of 5 will become 32, 2 to the power of 3 will become 8, 2 to the power of 2 will become 4 and 1. 32 plus 8 is 44 plus 1 45. So hence 101101 in binary is represented as 45 in decimal. But this can also have, this binary number can also have a fractional part with it. So if it is having a fractional part, how you are going to deal that? For example, let's see another binary number with fractional part. Okay, the number is 110.11. So 110.11 in binary, what it will be in decimal. Okay, so you note down the powers first, right? And see the interesting thing. You start from here, just before the point, the binary point. Start from here, 0, 1, 2. And on the right side of the binary point, you will go negative, -1 and -2. Okay, so you will just note it down as 1 into 2 to the power of 2 plus 1 into 2 to the power of 1 plus 0 into 2 to the power of 0 plus 1 into 2 to the power of -1 plus 1 into 2 to the power of -2. I hope you have worked with exponents, because here we are going to deal that. Well, 0 multiplied by anything will be 0. Now 2 to the power of 2 is 4, 2 to the power of 1 is 2. Now this will be 0. Now this will be 2 to the power of -1 will be 1 by 2, or 2 to the power of -2 will be 1 by 4. Okay, so this will be 4 plus 2 is 6 plus 1 by 2, 2 5 is 10, so 0.5 and 1 by 4, 4 to the 8, 2.25. So it will be 6.75. So the decimal part of 110.11 is 6.75. So this is how you can convert a given binary number into decimal. Actually the rule applies same for converting octal to decimal or hexadecimal to decimal. But the only thing is the base will be changed. If you are converting from binary, you will always multiply it with 2. If you are converting from octal, you will multiply it by 8. And if you are converting from hexadecimal, you will multiply it by 60. So let's see an octal number as well. So let's see how to convert octal to decimal. Now the given octal number over there, for example, let it be 426. Okay, 426 in octal. What it will be in decimal? So we will note down the digits. You will start the power from 0 from the right hand side, and now you multiply the digit with 8 to the power whatsoever is given. So plus 2 multiplied by 8 to the power whatsoever given, plus 6 multiplied by 8 to the power whatsoever is given. 8 is just 64, 64 into 4, 4 4 is 16, 64 24 25, 256 plus 8 to the 16 plus 6, because 8 to the power 0 is 1. So it will become 8 1 5 1 6 1 7 278 or 278. Okay, so 426 in octal is actually 278 in decimal. Okay, I hope I have done everything correct. In case of any mathematical mistakes, you can check it out, but let me check. 64 into 4 over 16 and 24 into 5 to 56, 8 over 16 and 6, 16 and 6 22 and 56 and 22, 66 76 78. Okay, it's fine. So 426 in octal is represented as 278 in decimal. Of course it can also have binary point, so octal point here. So when we generally used to say it as decimal point, because we use decimal number system. But if that point is present in binary number system, it is known as binary point. When it is present in octal number system, it is known as octal point. And when it is in the hexadecimal number system, it is known as hexadecimal point. You can call it with a general name as base point or radix point. So let's see. We are converting octal to decimal, and the octal number is 40.42. Okay, 40.42. What will be in decimal? Got that? So this will be our second question. 40.42. What it will be in decimal? So let's see that. Okay. Now 40 will be converted, and 42 will be converted with their powers. So 0, 1, -1 and -2. So it will become 4 into 8 to the power 1 plus 0 into 8 to the power 0 plus 4 into 8 to the power -1 plus 2 into 8 to the power -2. Okay, so it will be 8 for the 32 plus 0 plus 4 into 1 upon 8, I calculated it, 1 upon 8 is 0.125, 0.125. And 1 upon 64 is actually, it's a big number, 0.15625, 15625. So I calculated this for the help. Otherwise you will do 1 upon 64, right? Now just multiply them and add. So 32 plus 0 will be there, okay, no issues. 5 4 is 20, 4 2 is 8, 9 10, and 4 is 4 1 5, so 0.5. Okay, you can check it out one more time. 5 4 is 20, 0 to 4 2 is 8, 9 10, 1, and 4 1 is 4 1 5, fine. Plus you can do that also. 5 2 is 10, 1 to the 4 1 5, 6 to the 12, 1, 5 to the 10 1 11, and 2 is 2 1 3, 2 0 is 0, so 0.03125. so you can add them up and the final value will become 32.53125. so this is the corresponding decimal number of this octal number. So we have seen how to convert an octal with fractional part as well. So now the last thing to do is hexadecimal conversion back to decimal. So let's see that. So hexadecimal to decimal. Now I am taking a number with fractional part as well. You can do it without fractional also. So the number that I am taking is 100.4. Okay, so let's see 100.4 in hexadecimal, what it will be in decimal. Okay, so now let's see that. To do it, we will note down the numbers, their powers, and then you have to multiply the digit with 16 to the power, plus 0 with 16 to the power, plus 0 with 16 to the power, plus 4 into 1 upon 16, or 16 to the power minus 4. Okay, so 16 multiplied by 0 will be 0, 16 to the power 0 multiplied by 0 will be 0, so these two will be 0. Now this will become 16 square, that is 256. Okay, now 1 upon 16 value is 0.0625, so plus 4 into 0.0625. This is value of 1 upon 16. Now you will multiply this with 4, so it will become 256 plus 5 4 is 20, 2 to 4 to the 8, 9 10, 24, 1 25, 2. So it will become 256.25, 256.25 in decimal. So 100.4 in hexadecimal is represented as 256.25 in decimal. So we have seen how to convert decimal number into other three number system and other three number system back to decimal number system. Now there are few shortcuts also to perform this, and now the next conversions that I am going to tell you are related with those shortcuts. Like now I am going to tell you how to convert a how to convert an octal to binary, and hexadecimal to binary, and again binary to octal and binary to hexadecimal. Okay, so let's see the next 4 types of conversion, and okay, let's proceed. Now this is one of the easiest way to do that. In fact, I like it so much that even if I want to convert octal to hexadecimal, I used to convert octal to binary and then binary to hexadecimal. So it's very easy, but you have to remember the corresponding binary for each octal digit. For example, let's note down the octal digits. So we are having 8 octal digits, 5, 6, 7. Let's note down their corresponding binary. The interesting thing is the largest octal digit will be represented in 3 digits, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to represent all the digits in 3 digits. For example, 0 will be represented as 000, 1 will be represented as 001, 2 will be 010, 3 will be 011, 4 will be 100, 5 will be 101, 6 will be 110, and 7 will be 111. Okay, and I told you that I will tell you a shortcut to write this. If you don't remember it, then still you can write it. Now how you will do that? Okay, first of all you should be clear how many digits you want. Okay, so and how we will do that. For example, how many digits we want? 8. So there are 8 different digits. Now we want to represent each digit out of these 8 digits. We want to represent each one of them into binary. So 2 to the power of what is equals to 8? We know 2 to the power of 3 will be equals to 8. That means these 8 digits, okay, can be represented in 3-bit binary, because 2 to the power of 3 is 8. So through this way you can understand. So if we will talk about 16 digits, so 2 to the power of 4 is 16. So if we want to represent from up to 16 in binary, so we will take a 4-digit number. Now the shortcut to write it, we know we have to write 3-bit binary. So we will start from the rightmost and we will write 0101 with a gapping of 1. So 0101 alternatively we will write. Then the next digit we will write, but this time we will double the gapping. So here the gapping was 1, now the gapping will be 2. So it will be 0011 0011. And when you will move on to the next digit, the gapping will be doubled. So right now gapping was 2, so now the gapping will be 4 times. So 0000 1111. And if you will move on, then the gapping will be 8 times. That's it. So this is the way you can write a binary number in shortcut. Okay. So why I have written this? Because I told you the conversion of octal to binary will be very easy, but only when you remember that table. Okay, so with some practice of questions, you will definitely going to remember that. So how to represent? So let's take an octal number, okay, like 7314. 7314. This is an octal number. You want to convert it into binary. How to do that? So write down all the digits. Now each digit will be represented as a 3-bit binary. Now why we will represent 3-bit binary? I told you 2 to the power 3 is 8. Okay, octal means 8, binary means 2. So we will make 3-bit binary of each octal digit. So what's the binary of 4? It's 100. Binary of 1, 001. You will always write 3 digit. Okay, binary of 3 is 011 and binary of 7 is 111. Now just note down these binary numbers. So it is 111 011 001 100. So this is the corresponding binary of the given octal number. See how easy it is. As I told you, if you remember this, you can do it with one line. No need for any calculation and anything like that. Let's take one more example with fractional part as well. Okay. The next question that we are going to see is 263.54. So 263.54. This is available in octal. What will be its binary? So we will note down the digits and then a 3-bit binary for every digit. So 4 is 100, 5 is 101, 3 is 011, 6 is 110 and 2 is 010. So the 0 present, all the zeros present on the leftmost side can be omitted, not on the rightmost. Okay, all the zeros on the leftmost side can be omitted. So the binary of 263.54 will be, so I am omitting this, 10 110 011 101.100. You got that? So this is the corresponding binary of the given octal in the fractional part. Now if we are having a hexadecimal number and we want to convert hexadecimal into binary, how we are going to do that? So let's see. Now the interesting thing is hexadecimal means 16. So there will be few more digits over there. So let's note them down with shortcut technique so that you can remember this shortcut as well. So the hexadecimal digits are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E and F. Though we write down A, B, C, D, E, F, but whenever we operate them, we will treat them as 10, 11, 12. Okay. Now the corresponding binaries. So with a gapping of 1. Now with the gapping of 2. Now with the gapping of 4. And now with the gapping of 8. And hence you formed the binary numbers of all the given numbers. Now you have to convert that given hexadecimal to binary. So now let's take the hexadecimal number. For example, the hexadecimal number that we are taking now is, I'm taking with the fractional part as well. So it is 9AD8 9AD8.28. Okay, fine. And let's represent it hexadecimal number to binary. Okay, so let's note down the digits. I think in the previous one I forgot to put the radix point, so don't forget to put that radix point if it is there. So let's convert them each to a 4-digit binary. Why 4-digit? Because 2 to the power 4 is 16. Okay, so 4-digit binary. So 8 is actually 1000, so 1 and 3 times 0. 2 is actually 10, so it's 0010. Okay, now 8 is actually again 1 and 3 times 0. D is actually 1101, so 1101. A is actually 1010, and 9 is 1001. Hence you formed the binary numbers. You should provide this binary this binary point over there. If I forgot to put the binary point in the octal conversion, okay, you should better keep it there. Maybe in hurry I would have forgot that. So 11010, then 1101, then 1000.00101000. Okay, in the fractional part you can omit this. In the integer part you can omit on the left side, but if you will keep that, it won't be wrong. So this is your given binary number for the given hexadecimal. Now if we want to convert binary into octal or binary into hexadecimal, the process is just reverse of this. Okay, so let's do that, and that would be the end of today's video lecture. I will provide you some exercise questions at the end of the video lecture, so please go through the video till the end. Okay, so now it is binary to octal or hexadecimal. Process is almost the same. So we will take binary number and we will convert it into both octal and hexadecimal as well. So let's take the binary number 11010 11010 and 111, and then after 0.01011 0.01011. Okay, now we have to, first of all we have to form pairs. Okay, actually not the pair, groups. We have to form group of 3 or group of 4. So whenever we are converting into octal, we will form group of 3, and when we are converting into hexadecimal, we will form group of 4. Again the same reason, 2 to the power 3 is 8, 2 to the power 4 is 16. So let's see, let's form a group of 3 first. 0.01011. The interesting thing is, when you are moving from the left side of the binary point, you will form groups like this. Okay, and if anything is left, you can add a 0 over there, and on the right side of the binary point you will start making from here. So if anything is left, you will add a 0 over there. Okay, now you need to represent each digit, each 3-bit binary into an octal. For example, 011 is actually 3, 010 is 2, 111 is 7, 010 is 2 and 110 is 6. So the corresponding octal number is this one. Okay, so you can note down the corresponding octal here, 327.26. Okay, now let's convert the same binary number into hexadecimal. So the thing will change is, instead of forming a group of 3, we will form a group of 4. So it will be these 4, then these 4, then this will be left. Actually I have added this. Okay, now here also group of 4, so 2 zeros afterwards. Now each group of 4 bit will be converted to the corresponding hexadecimal digit. For example, let's see 1101. So 1101 is representing D, 0111 is representing 7. Now 0101, that is 101, that is representing 5, and 1 and 4 times 0 representing 8. So this is the corresponding hexadecimal number of the same binary number. So this is how you are going to convert octal into binary, hexadecimal into binary, binary into octal, or binary into hexadecimal. Now the next and the last conversion of the syllabus is actually that conversion I am not doing. You will realize why I am not doing it. Okay, the last conversion is converting octal into hexadecimal and hexadecimal into octal, and it's very easy. If you want to convert octal into hexadecimal, what you simply do, convert octal into binary by a 3-bit binary for each digit. Once the binary number is formed, then form a group of 4 in the binary. Now each group of 4-bit binary will represent a corresponding hexadecimal number. So the step will be convert octal into binary, then binary into hexadecimal. Similarly, convert hexadecimal into binary and binary into octal. So that's how you are going to convert octal into hexadecimal and hexadecimal into octal. So we have seen all the conversions today, from decimal to binary, decimal to octal, decimal to hexadecimal, hexadecimal to decimal, octal to decimal, and binary to decimal. Then we have seen binary to octal and octal to binary, binary to hexadecimal and hexadecimal to binary, and the last one, it is octal to hexadecimal and hexadecimal to octal, I have given as a task for you. Now I told you I will provide you few exercise questions. I have written 15 questions for you, which will be shown to you on your screen right now. You will attempt these 15 questions and you will keep the answers with you. I will tell you the answers in the next video lecture and you can match it up. In case of any doubt, in case of any wrong answers, you can raise that as your doubt question. And I told you I am making a form, a doubt raising form for class 11th, and I am right now working on it, and most probably in the next video lecture it will be done and you will get the link of it. So that's it for today's video lecture. Hope to meet you in the next video lecture. Till then, thank you and have a nice day.